G'day ice cream lovers, welcome to this session of the Scoop School Live, Scoop School community. Nice to have you here. We are throwing together a webinar today. Now, this is usually the time that our Scoop School community meets, but we've opened this session up. We rarely do it, but we've opened up this session to anyone who wants to come just to get some information out there to help ice cream retailers through the crazy season. So we generally live stream at this period of time every Friday afternoon. However, it's kind of for our Scoop School community group. That is a group that pays $49.95 a month. We live stream every Friday. Here we go over a lot of recipe based, do a lot of Q&A. I'm already croaking. So go to scoopschool.com, click on community there. In fact, brand new scoopschool.com website, happy to say. If you haven't been there for a while, check it out. Very usable, nice and user-friendly, a lot of images, nice and clean, as they say in the industry. So yeah, but we're proud to, or happy to have this come out to you today. Hopefully it's going to be helpful for you over the coming months. We've also just published our classes for the remainder of the year and into 2021. A nice mixture of live classes as well as live stream classes. So if you'd like to join us for one of those classes, more than happy to oblige. And then finally, before we jump into recipe making, I just wanted to give a plug for the biggest, probably the biggest ice cream trade event on the US calendar here, ConeCon 2020. 60 keynote and breakout and workshops. There's a full live trade show floor. I think we've got 50 exhibitors in there that are going to be live answering questions. And there's a whole lot of things, conecon2020.com. I should say first, before I say that, can we come back up to me, Madeline? I do want to make sure that everyone can hear me okay. So if you can hear me okay, can you just raise a hand? Just a little hand. Raise a hand. All right. I find that on the Zooms, people are very quick to raise hands. I don't know why that is. Okay, back down to the table. This is your ConeCon 2020 registration kit, and I just wanted to show you what was in it. These are shipping out yesterday, today, and they start shipping automatically whenever you look at what's in this box. The actual convention itself is $149 for non-members, $225, sorry, let me go back. $149 for NICRA members, $225 for non-NICRA members. This box is probably $2,000 in value. That's what the TikTokers do. So we've got a welcome card here, a drink bottle, a beautiful convention t-shirt. Check this out. You'll be wearing this all around town. Virtual convention. It's made of the most beautiful Giza cotton. I don't know about that. I just know that because my pillow guy makes it. You've got a coupon card here with up to $2,000 in discounts and different things. There's a game that actually you go and every time you visit a booth, you get points. There are prizes. You got popcorn in here. You've got your NICRA pint container. Question. Can't see. Can't see. Can anyone else not see this beautiful pint container? Pint holder? Everyone can? Oh, good, good, good. I thought I was going to have to start the pitch again. Look, you got your NICRA sticky notes, NICRA bucks. This is where we give away $1,500 in coupons to use at the show to any supplier at the show. That's a giveaway. We got your NICRA stress cone. If you're a NICRA member, you've got a door decal. Looks very nice. Here's some breath mints. You never know when you're going to need them. A NICRA office. There's a pen. There's a show guide in here for you to take notes, the full agenda, as well as your NICRA yearbook, if you're a NICRA member, full listing of all members and all suppliers, and your NICRA calendar for 2021. So look, that's enough pitch work, but I really would recommend go check it out. ConeCon2020.com. Got to pack this up nicely because someone's going to get this box, and I don't want to be the one that is in trouble for a question. 2 hand raised. Do those 2 hand raisers want to ask a question, or did you just wanted to tell me that my my screen was visible? We're happy to unmute you. We have the technology. Let's go up here. We're fine to not have that happen. Or type in the chat. Happy to have that happen as well. Okay, let's go over some of these menu items. Hang on. Question. Okay. So love the calendar. Look, I think you'll find everything in this box is hugely high quality. Look, we're going to be shipping these boxes out regardless. You'll find that it would be great to have that box while you're watching the convention live. But if you signed up 10 minutes before the convention started, we would still send that box out to you. Now, remember also that the convention is live for the 10th, 11th, and 12th of November, but the whole platform, including all the recordings of all the sessions, is online for another 30 days after that. So don't feel as though, oh, well, I'm never going to get my box. I'm not going to enjoy it while the ConeCon's happening. Not so. But as soon as we get those registrations, again, we're shipping them out this week, next week, and you'll get them before convention. No deadline, really. You can actually even sign up for convention after the convention, but you won't get to be there live, unfortunately. Any other questions? We still have a hand. So type in the chat box if you want to be unmuted, because the last thing people want to do is to be unmuted when they're not. They don't think they're going to be unmuted, and next thing they're yelling at the dog, and we don't want any dog yelling on the podcast. Okay, so we're going to jump into these 5 menu items. These are 5 menu items that we actually have made in our stores in Australia. We had a store here in St. Louis. We've helped other people. We've helped open over 800 different ice cream businesses. We know these processes work. So we're going to start probably from the most simple to a little bit more infrastructure related. The first of which is a hot cocoa float. And again, we're not cornering the market on this. You may be doing 3 or 4. You might be doing all 5 of these. But a hot cocoa float is a very, very simple way to bring people into the store to have a nice warm experience. Again, all of these products that we're going to be talking about have this juxtaposition between either freshly baked or warmed with the cold in it as well. So I've been warming up some milk here. And let me tell you that as a non-coffee drinker, I am very pedantic about my hot chocolate. That's really the only hot drink that I use. And so water-based hot chocolate for me, not a big fan. Let's go down here with the front view. So we've got, I'm just using Swiss Miss. You can use whatever brand you would like. Now, if you have a hot chocolate dispenser, that's probably just as easy. But I've got some steaming hot milk here. We're just going to put some Swiss Miss in. You're probably thinking, why did I log on here just to watch someone make hot chocolate? I can make that at home. Look, I know you can, but we're going to put a nice little spin on it. We'll mix that up. No one wants lumps in there. The hotter the milk, the easier that the powder will dissolve. Feel free to ask questions as you go. I'm going to get some ice cream. Now, you can use basically whatever you would like. We're just using a vanilla bean ice cream that we made in one of our classes. You would dip this obviously straight out of the case. And you don't want to pour a full scoop in here. I generally put a 2-ounce scoop in here. So we'll take a smaller scoop, about 2 ounces, drop that in there. You may want to fill up a little bit with milk to top it up to the top here. And the piece de resistance is you'll want to powder that with a little cocoa on the top. Now, let me tell you, if you want to do whipped cream, you certainly can. We'll do that for the purposes of this particular broadcast. But let me tell you that you think it's simple, but the process of someone drawing, I'll just bring that up. So, and again, you're not looking at anything hugely dynamic, but the process of someone drawing beautifully rich hot cocoa past a scoop of vanilla ice cream and through the cap here is absolutely divine. So it seems like a relatively easy product to make, and it is, but the proof of this is in the tasting. As you get that really kind of, again, balance between the cold ice cream and the beautiful hot cocoa. I certainly recommend it. It's probably one of the easiest things that you can do to add to the menu. Obviously, you wouldn't have this year round, but a hot cocoa float is something that I definitely recommend. Nice, easy product to do. You'll more than likely have most of the infrastructure or the products in your store anyway to do it. And it just sounds really good. Hey, our winter menu starts on the 1st of November. Come in and get your hot cocoa float. Oh, that sounds pretty good. Okay, any questions about that? Starting off on the simple side, hot cocoa floats. We're not breaking the memory banks there or the brain power there with hot cocoa floats. No questions? Okay, let's jump on to a self-sourcing brownie sundae. What did you say, Steve? I said a self-sourcing brownie sundae. Now you're going to need, with these larger products, you're going to need a cup that's going to be specific to this item. This is a solo 16-ounce cup. It's a DM16, but it's kind of very kind of lower. They call it a squat cup because it's not, this is a 16-ounce here, a regular cup. So that's a regular 16-ounce. This is a 16-ounce, but it's squatted. And you do want something with a wide base because we're putting some warm products in here. And look, it's up to you as to where you want to get your brownie from. You can have a local bakery bake them. You can bake them yourself. I know that in a lot of our stores, we used to have a fresh baked cookie and a fresh baked brownie program. And we used to get them from Otis Spunkmeyer. They would give us the actual oven and we would actually make them fresh. In this case, we're just using a beautifully fresh, you want it a little deep, so you want it not a thin brownie. This has got some icing on the top. We're going to drop that in here. Now, again, you'll want to use either hot fudge. I really like squeeze bottles. I've always liked squeeze bottles. And we keep the squeeze bottle in a bottle warmer. So you've got water in here or one of the no water bath thermal pads that are keeping this product warm. And again, this is the whole process. You want this warm. It doesn't need to be hot, but it can be warm. Two ways you can do this with the brownie. You can put it in a microwave. I wouldn't have the microwave out front, but Hatco and some of those other companies make warmers. They're relatively inexpensive, particularly if this is something you want to go season after season after season. So you would warm that brownie. You've got a warmed hot fudge or warm chocolate topping. And again, we're going to come back to our vanilla ice cream. And before you put the vanilla ice cream on, you want to put a whole lot of fudge on top of that brownie. This is the process. Because when people drill into this brownie, you want them to be able to feel as though the perception is that that fudge is coming out of the brownie. Now, you can do this in vanilla. You can do this in chocolate. You can do multiple scoops. Again, the idea is that they're coming in to get a product that is not available in your regular season. So this is your warm brownie sundae. We'll put some whipped cream on there as well as, again, the dusting of cocoa. I really would recommend one of those dusting trays. If you don't have them, Webstaurant places get them relatively easily. Don't go crazy on the whipped cream. We'll just dust that off with a bit of cocoa. And again, the idea is that you've got a warm brownie underneath here that isn't being moistened with fudge that's just on the top. You've got a whole lot of fudge that's basically sitting on the brownie. I know some people who actually, their brownies are so thick that they will just take a scoop, dig a little bit out of the brownie so that they'll fill that hole, almost like a golf ball size, half a golf ball size hole, with the hot fudge or with the hot syrup. So again, when you're digging into that, into the brownie, it looks like that fudge is coming out of there. Presentation is the key, everybody. Don't think that you can put this in a foam hot dog box, because the reason why people are coming in the wintertime is they want something that's unique and they want something that looks beautiful. And for my money, that looks beautiful. Thank you, Logitech, for having such a great focusing system. Okay, in that vein, there are some other options here so far as warmed products. Let me get a towel and wipe this down. Scanning, scanning, don't see my towel. It was around here, Madeline. Give me one of them, it's fine. So there are other things that you can do. You can do similar things with these. These are a brownie bite. And again, you may want to layer a sundae cup depending on what it is. You won't need a very wide sundae cup for this. You'll probably just need something that's a little bit like this sundae cup. Here she comes over the top. Oh, nice throw. And again, the presentation is that you would layer this. So let's build one. Let's build one in a 12-ounce sundae cup, my favorite sundae cup. Now, for me, when you're building a sundae, it's extremely important to make sure that this thing is not just a bunch of ice cream in the bottom with hot fudge or topping on the top. You want this kind of rounded process, a layered process. So what you'll want to do is stagger the scoops. I talk about this all the time. So in this particular sundae, we would put one scoop in the bottom. Let's put a warm brownie bite there. We would take a second scoop and layer it on the side, not straight on top, but on the side. And you can see we're starting to get these crevices in and around there. Another warm brownie bite goes over here. We'll put our third scoop, which we in our businesses and in our training, we try and get people to serve 3-ounce scoops. So there's our third scoop here with a third warm brownie bite. Now, again, the idea is that these crevices in and around the cup, you can do this with soft serve just as easily as you can do it with premium, is to put that hot fudge, and again, this is why I like a squeeze bottle, because you can really direct where that fudge is going so that the product needs to look as good as it tastes. And when you've got this cascading hot fudge down the side here, that's what you want. You want people to be able to enjoy the brownie and the hot fudge as they go down layer by layer by layer by layer. We'll put a little, and again, you may not dust these with cocoa or cocoa powder during the year, but you do want to dust them with cocoa powder for your winter menu. Looks pretty good, hey? Again, a lot of it is all in the presentation. You can do this with a plastic cup. Obviously, you lose a little bit in the presentation, but the principle is the same. You still want to stagger the scoops in a cup like this so that the customer is enjoying brownie and fudge and ice cream all the way down the cup. So you might not get the visuality out of this, but you will certainly get the mouthfeel and the experience. Questions as we go? You're a quiet lot today. We usually do have people participate a little bit. We can unmute you. We can do whatever you'd like, or we can't do whatever you'd like. Here's a question. Who has her hand raised? Heather. Heather, I'm going to unmute you because you still have your hand raised. I just don't want to be rude. So, Heather, you're being unmuted. Do you have a question? Next caller, please. Heather, are you on the line?
Yes, can you hear me?
Heather, I think we have some communication problems.
Can you hear me?
Maybe Heather didn't want to be unmuted. Can't hear you, so we'll roll on. We do have a speaker system set up on our Frankenstein cart here. So let us know. I don't know what you're saying. Okay.
I am.
I know. I see what you're saying. Yeah, we might not be able to hear you because we're having a monitor there as well. But if you could type the question in the chat, that's going to be easier for us. I do want to touch on, in the same vein, a couple of other different menu items. I really do like Danish strudels. So again, these here, let's mute Heather again so we go on to my full screen. So these here are simply either cherish danishes or they are apple danishes. Same deal. The warmed pastry process of having a Danish, again, it's up to you. You can buy them. I don't think you need to have these baked fresh or have a huge story around it, but I do think that this kind of warm baked pastry layered through the ice cream in and of itself is really, really important. I want to do one more sundae. It's a s'mores sundae. And this is going to have a little bit of theater to it. So if your store is built like you can have a little bit of ice cream theater to the process, that's wonderful. If not, that's okay as well. Just getting a little bit of our chocolate ice cream out here. So a s'mores sundae would be where you would layer, and you don't have to call it s'mores, you could actually call it we used to call it a campfire sundae. And so you would take, doesn't matter what ounce cup, this is our 8-ounce cup. You would use a chocolate ice cream. And again, I wouldn't go crazy with giving people options for different types of ice cream. You want to standardize the process if you can. And so the s'mores sundae would be same deal. You're going to put some chocolate ice cream in here, and then you're going to layer it with some broken up graham cracker pieces, a little bit of hot fudge, a little bit of hot fudge in my life. We do sing a lot on the Scoop School live casts. If Bob Wolson's on, he knows. So there's our second scoop. This is a smaller sundae. I'll put a little bit more of this on here with some hot fudge. And the piece de resistance is we're going to put some marshmallows on the top. So 1, 2, I know I've seen people do these actually where they put a skewer into the top of the sundae, so they're kind of standing up on a skewer. And then we're going to take the Torch-100. This is a Syndico Torch 400. It's a propane torch. I asked for one of these for Christmas. I got one. I've been using it all the time. Now, admittedly, I use this more to light candles in the office than I do making small sundaes. And obviously, you want to make sure that someone qualified is doing this. You don't want to set cups alight or burn fingers off. But the idea is that you're just toasting these marshmallows. Now, again, like any marshmallows, they can catch on fire. So a nice general torching is good. You want a nice brown, he nearly went. But you can see it blistering on the outside. It's warming them. A little bit of a flame. You don't want to have to blow on the customer's sundae. I'll be eating this. Now remember too that it's also melting the ice cream. You don't want to put it in a plastic cup because it will melt the cup. But the beautiful thing about this is that this s'mores sundae has warmed marshmallows on the top. There's a little bit of theater to it as well. Again, all of our warmed products, we would put a little dusting of the cocoa powder on them and a fresh out of the campfire s'mores sundae. Absolutely wonderful. So a couple of things. Again, you want to make sure that you don't have employees that are burning their hands. You want to make a cup that's not combustible or melting, and you don't want to have to blow on the customer's product. So just maybe get back a little bit, make sure it doesn't catch a light. You don't want to do that. There is a question. Question away. Okay, do I recommend people baking their own goods to keep them fresh? I do think that there is something to be said about in your marketing that we bake these products fresh or bake fresh in the store. Unfortunately, today, in this day and age, apple pie strudels. Okay, let's go up, Madeline. Let's go up. Let's have a look at the noggin. Unfortunately, in this day and age, homemade really doesn't mean that much. Homemade ice cream is not a technical term. It's not a term that's mandated by a standard of identity for the FDA. So you can literally buy tubs of ice cream and resell it and call your place Steve's Homemade Ice Cream. There's no category for that. Now, you might get some backlash from Yelp and people reviewing saying, well, they say it's homemade, but I saw a truck delivering 3-gallon tubs at the back. So you've got to be careful in your messaging. But I do think there's something to be said about we're baking fresh in the store. That's pretty hard to kind of twist around. So in the process of, again, if you're putting this together to have people come in for your specific winter menu, I would invest in a small convection oven, even a warming drawer. You can keep some of these. I've been eating them. It's probably a good thing that the stream was today, because I've actually been eating these as we go. But if you kept these in a warming drawer, even if they weren't made here, you know, you've got this process of opening up a drawer, bringing something out. I think there's a great story to be told in saying, come in for our fresh baked brownie sundae. Question. How about gluten-free baked goods? Was that? Okay. Yeah, that would work as well. Obviously, you want to make sure the gluten-free crowd. Oh, is it needed? Look, I wouldn't say it's needed. I think if you're going to go down the gluten-free route, you've got to go gluten-free with everything. So that means you can't have a small sundae with graham crackers in it unless you are baking your own. We had a lady, a crew out from Colorado, Lollies. If you're on, hey, the Lollies crew, they actually are baking their own graham crackers, gluten-free graham crackers. Pretty cool. That's their market, though. They're reaching out to that particular market. So I don't think it needs to be gluten-free. But again, like anything, the gluten-free community, the dairy-free community, those that have kids with allergies, sensitivities, they talk to each other a lot. So if you're coming up with products, if you have a line of ice cream that is gluten-free or dairy-free, even if it's water ice or sorbet, that community really talks to each other. So you can consider it, but if you're putting on gluten-free items or dairy-free products and they're only selling less than 5% of everything else, you can't please everybody all the time. I would be concerned that you're holding product longer than you would to keep it fresh. And even when they do come in, because you're not rotating it through as much, they're having a less than good experience with it. Hope that answers your question. Okay, we're going to head down here, down to the other side of the lab here. Things that need a little bit more equipment, so a little bit more equipment heavy, not overly expensive. Frank's got a beautiful new set of wheels as we roll Frank down. If you've never seen, we do need to do a special on Frank. I still think that Frank should have his own Instagram, but we built this cart that has lights and speakers and cameras and so forth. He's quite the celebrity here, Frank. And look, he just rolls beautifully. We did have someone in a YouTube video say, Frank's moving around too much. So you can't please everybody. So we got 2 units here. Obviously, there's some investment in here, less than $1,000, but they will spearhead sales, and they will give you a very, very unique sales product menu item that you can really generate some significant funds over in the wintertime. This is a Cobatco Belgian waffle iron. Most people are very well aware of Cobatco so far as their waffle cone irons are concerned. This is a Belgian waffle iron. The thing I like about it is that it's an individual Belgian waffle iron. So it's got 4 smaller compartments here. And what you can do is basically make an individual Belgian waffle sundae. Now, let me tell you about the Belgian waffle sundae. We put them on in our stores in Australia. We had both of these items where they are only intending to be there as a winter item. When it came to be spring and we were suggesting that we might take them off, we literally, I shouldn't say literally because you shouldn't say that anymore. We almost had a riot because people were so passionate about these beautiful products that they said, please don't take them off the menu. We'll come and eat them all year round. So, Mad, let's pop down here. This is again, a Cobatco Belgian waffle iron. It is the same quality, same sturdy construction as all of the tobacco products. It's a little bit more like the iron that you would get at, and I don't want to cheapen the experience, but at a Holiday Inn or something where it rotates. So you're basically putting it in there and rotating. So what we're going to do here is we'll do two. Now, these crevasses, I call them, are relatively deep. So you want to make sure that you have enough spray in there. Some of the tobacco products don't require spraying between them. Some do. Just be wary that you'll get a lot of seasoning happening. This is a tobacco Belgian waffle mix. Again, you don't want to overfill it. I'm often guilty of doing so. We'll drop this down, rotate it around, and turn on the timer. Now, this will go for 3.5 minutes. A couple of things as we go back up to the top camera. 3 minutes means that there's a time period between when someone's ordering it and when they're pulling it out. When we sold these in our stores in Australia, we basically tried to come up with all of these different ways to make these products come out quicker. So we would make 20 or 30 of them during the day. While I'm talking, this beautiful Belgian waffle smell is kind of wafting up here. Countdown's working, beautiful. So we make 20 or 30 in the morning, snap freeze them. Then when someone ordered one, we'd put them in a bagel toaster, come out rubbish. We basically tried all of these things until we determined that, you know what, people are going to wait 3.5 minutes for a well-prepared, fresh-baked, beautiful sundae. So what we would often have happen is that when people were standing in line to come up to the register, someone would say 3 people back, I want a Belgian waffle sundae. And so we'd put one on. Again, this is the mix that we're using. It's simply a powder and water mix. Belgian waffle mix by Tobacco. I find that it's very high quality. We always accent it a little bit. We put a little bit of our vanilla blend in here just to kind of lift those flavors. But they're relatively easy to make. They take about 3.5 minutes, but the end product is absolutely outstanding. Questions as we go. Questions. Promises. I'll get our whipped cream over here. Again, you'll want to make sure that this product, it's going to come out hot. So you want to make sure that the container that it's in demonstrates it really well and will not melt. So I know a couple of people that put these on a foam plate and it melted the foam plate. Question. Is there pearl sugar in it? Who asked that question? Becky Jacobs, huh? She's on the ball, Serendipity, St. Louis, Missouri. Great ice cream shop locally here. No, there is not. So that would be a Liège waffle. I call it Liège. You can call it Liège, Liège. Don't call it a Legion's waffle because that kind of intimates some kind of devilish experience or disease. No, it does not. It does not have pearl sugar in it. The difference between a regular Belgian waffle and a Liège waffle is that the actual plate itself is more square and you don't have this kind of formatted product. This is going to come out very specifically shaped, whereas a Liège waffle doesn't. It's a little bit more doughy as well, whereas we just kind of poured this batter in. Liège waffle comes a little bit more doughy. It does have pearl sugar in it. I love Liège waffles, and I appreciate you bringing that up, Becky, because they sell really, really well as well. I go to the CGIP show every year in Rimini, Italy, and Liège waffles are all over Europe. They sell very well. They're very well complicated, again, with the gelato or ice cream products. So that's something that you can put in here. Now, you could call, and again, I'm very, very pedantic about people meeting their customers' expectations. So you could put pearl sugar in here. My only concern would be that you could say, well, we're selling Liège waffles, but you'll see when we come out, let's go down, Madeline. You'll see when it comes out that it doesn't have the look of a Liège waffle. It has the look of a regular Belgian waffle. We'll roll this back over, and you can see just the beauty of these products. You might want to serve it up this way. A little bit of residue there from the seasoning of the baker. But the idea is that you're putting it into, I think it works better on a plate. So you'll put it on a plate. Let me get my vanilla ice cream out here. And you'll put some vanilla ice cream on the top. That's not vanilla. Personally, we just used to sell them with maple syrup. And I think that's a nice way to sell them because it doesn't kind of take away a lot from the flavor of the waffle. Stay there, steady. So push that down on there. Again, you're going to have a little bit of reaction with the beautiful fresh baked now absorbing a little bit of the ice cream. But this is just a maple syrup blend. I say maple syrup, it's actually a breakfast syrup. But you can see how good that looks. And that's why I think the beauty of having an open plate like this, I know that's a challenge in this COVID world, but presentation-wise, it looks really, really good. On our menu board, we have this item with no other explanation apart from a Belgian waffle sundae and this image. Sorry, Madeline, I didn't close the door of the blast freezer. Let's get the other one out. So again, I think the only challenge with this particular product, doesn't look great, is that you've got a little bit of spendage when it comes to buying the equipment. Tobacco tend to have a policy where if you buy their mix and anything goes wrong with it, they replace it. We'll drop that on the top. This one we'll do a chocolate. Come on, mate, push it on, roll it off. That's what we say, push it on, roll it off. That's an extra tip. Let's go chocolate. I do think the chocolate kind of takes away from the nice taste of the waffle, but it looks good. Let's put a bit of whipped cream on that. And again, beautiful, beautiful looking item. And again, the idea with these items is not only do they taste great, but they present well. And when you start marketing these products on your Facebook, on your Instagram, come in for a fresh Belgian waffle sundae, it's pretty hard to kind of deny that that's not one of the most awesome things you'll ever see. Questions on the Belgian waffle. Questions on the Belgian. They'll be used for later, let me tell you. We've got quite a lot of menu items over here, Madeline, that we're going to need to go through. The one thing I will tell you, does this have one? No, it does not. Don't worry about it. Don't forget I said anything. Tobacco have a secret button. It's a secret thermostat button that you can change the thermostat. But don't tell any of your employees because you don't want them changing the thermostat. And I don't want to give it away. I know, I put it on. I'm going to turn it off. There we go. Okay, questions about the Belgian waffles? Going, gone. Okay, this is a relatively unique grill. It's called a Poffertjes grill or a Poffertjes grill. It's traditionally Poffertjes or mini Dutch pancakes are Dutch, obviously, mini Dutch pancakes. And you'll find them all over the world. You'll travel internationally. You'll go to the Europe area. You'll go to Western Europe. They're all over the place. The UK, the Philippines. I went to Dubai for a show. They were there. They're all over Australia. And so in one of our first seasons, we wanted something that's warm and fresh baked to add to our Belgian waffle program for winter. And so we thought we'd sell Poffertjes, these mini Dutch pancakes. They're prepped fresh. And so we bought a grill similar to this, and we made these mini Dutch pancakes fresh as per the customer's order. Now, when we got to the States here, there were a lot of people who kind of asked us in the education and training process, you know, what did you sell in Australia to help drive winter sales? We sold Poffertjes, mini Dutch pancakes. What are Poffertjes? Did a bit of research. They're not here. So in full disclosure, we actually import this grill. We import it to our specifications. We've come up with a powdered Dutch Poffertjes mix. It's unique in that it's got some agents in here that actually help it rise, a little bit of buckwheat in it, a little bit of buttermilk in it. You can make your own, but we make a mix, I think, that's relatively good. And then we sell these grills. You can go to tinypancakes.com, tinypancakes.com. We typically roll this out and kind of put a lot of emphasis on it at the end of the season. So you've got a temperature dial here. It's set on a little bit less than 200. And then we'll spray the top of the plate And then you've got this Poffertjes mix, your Poffertjes Dutch pancake mix. Again, we put it in a squeeze bottle, and then you're simply just pushing the mix out into these dimples. We cut a hole in the top a little bit wider so we could get it in. And they sit in the grill for the first side for about 1.5 minutes. Now, let me tell you that my daughter, Emily, before she got married here, was selling these at the Wildwood markets, and they just went absolutely crazy. She got married, moved out to Arizona. She has 2 of these Poffertjes stalls happening at 2 farmers markets every Saturday. Most Saturdays, they can pull in $1,000 in sales in a Saturday morning till a little bit after lunch with these products. We used to do the Wildwood markets here in St. Louis. Not a very big market, but consistently we would do $300, $400, $500 every Saturday morning in these because A, they taste fantastic. B, I'm doing a 1 and a 2, but an A and a B. So let's go back. 1, they look fantastic. They smell fantastic. 2, B, they're very, very dynamic when you're flipping these over. C, they look great on a plate. 4, they're very inexpensive. So we've got about 1.5 minutes here. Similar to a pancake, it'll start to bubble on the top. And then what we're doing here is we're basically taking our skewer and we're basically lifting and flipping. So when we go down the plate, and our plates are designed to have 25 dimples on the smaller plate. Most of the ice cream shops in the program have just a smaller grill like this. It's a regular 110 plug-in. You're taking your grill, you're just lifting and flipping. Now, in Australia, we would have this right up at the customer area behind a sneeze guard, and we would flip these as the customers were coming down the line. The beauty of this program is that 1 plate of 10, if you're buying our mix, and I'll tell you about our mix because we include mix in the equipment purchase, 1 tray of 10 non-dressed Poffertjes has a cost of around 20 cents. Once you put some topping on them, it averages out at around 45 to 50 cents. We are selling these at the markets, our local markets, between $6 and $8 a plate. And part of the reason why we can get so much for them with such a little food cost is they're unique, they're dynamic, they taste great. Again, you've got this beautiful baked smell coming into the store. And again, this is a program where when we went to take it back out, oh my gosh, there were people pleading with us. So you're going to take your skewer again. We'll take 10 off the plate. 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. Come on, mate. 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's what an undressed plate of mini Dutch pancakes look like. Again, you'll get a tray, a dusting tray. Ours is over there. We don't have a lot of room here. And we would put powdered sugar on them. Now, in our store, we would actually do ice cream. So we would couple that with a scoop of vanilla, a scoop of chocolate. We'll pop that in the corner. And let's do Nutella. Nutella seems to be, with Poffertjes, the most delicious. So you'd put Nutella all over those. Honestly, the sky's the limit when it comes to the versions, what you can do here. Whipped cream on this side, put a fork in that. That has a product cost of about 50 cents, and you can sell that for $6 to $8. It's dynamic, it's fresh baked, it's not fried. Some people say, well, it's kind of like a beignet. I guess, I mean, a beignet is actually fried. We're not frying these. You can prep them right in front of the customer. You don't need a hood for them because this grill is designed that you can't bake anything else on it. And what most health departments are after is if you've got grease-laden air, then you will need a hood. But because we don't have a hood on this, or it's the hot plate's designed so you can't put anything else on it to bake anything like a burger. Again, let's do we'll do caramel on this one. So tinypancakes.com, again, this is our product. We import these, with a view to helping ice cream shops sell more products during the wintertime. It certainly works very, very good for us. Caramel. Bananas Foster. We used to do a Bananas Foster Poffertjes program. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. Bit of whipped cream. And we have a similar program to tobacco. Look at that. Is that not probably one of the most delicious things? And again, this whole juxtaposition of eating something that's warm with something that's cold and freshly prepared, I'm telling you, it'll blow your mind. We have a similar program with Cobatco, not with Cobatco, but as Cobatco. When we put together this grill package, the grill is $695. You get a box of mix, which is 30 pounds of mix. That box of mix will make $1,200 worth of this product. So even in the first box of mix that you get with the grill, you do $1,200 in sales. Even if you scrap the whole program then, you're $500 ahead, $400 ahead, $500 ahead. For this particular webinar, if you're watching this, we'll give you an extra box. So if you're interested in purchasing the process, reach out to us. We'll give you the mix. I should say, we'll sell you the package, which generally includes one box, which will generate about $1,200 in sales. We're going to actually give you another box, so it'll be $2,400 in sales. The machine's warranted for a year, but if you keep using our mix, we'll just keep warranting it. If anything goes wrong with the grill and you're buying at least a box a month, then we'll just send you a new one. Question. Becky's interested. Becky, I'll even throw in free delivery for you. Free delivery. Madeline, let's go back up to the mug shot, if you will. Just a couple of things before we sign off. I'm cognizant of time. Again, I don't think we're reinventing the wheel when it comes to some of these menu items, but I do think that having a specific menu, winter menu, that you're rotating in and out is going to drive sales. Now, it's not going to, you can't just have these on the menu and not tell anybody about it. But fortunately for nearly all of these, dynamically, visually, they're very dynamic. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, get the word out there. It's a limited time offer, LTO, limited time offer, seasonal product come in for this period of time. It drives that kind of fear of missing out, FOMO as they call it. So they come in, they get their products, they come back. You can do these in such a way that I know my daughter in Arizona packages these up 20 to a box. She calls them a Poff box. And people actually buy them, take them home and heat them up for their kids. A lot that can be done with all of these different products. Put them on a new menu panel, promote it, take that menu panel down come Memorial Day to give people that desire to come back. Some of them you might want to keep on. We kept Poffertjes on. We kept the Belgian waffle program on. It created some buzz on the menu. We didn't really sell a whole lot of them during the summer months. We used to roll them out quite specifically during the winter months. So that's the program. We will post this video on our website, on our YouTube channel. So reach out if you have any questions. I do just want to, before I take a little bit more questions, just want to pitch ConeCon again, the 10th, 11th, and 12th of November. If you haven't had a look at it, conecon2020.com. We're sending out these registration boxes literally as we speak. So obviously 2 or 3 days, 4 days shipping. You want to make sure that box gets to you. Look, even if you didn't get the box, I would imagine most people come away from these conventions, the in-person and this virtual one. If you don't come away with 10, 15, 20 good ideas, contacts, menu items, new contacts with suppliers, I'd be very surprised. conecon2020.com. Questions, Madeline? Say that again. Wholesaling in the winter months. First of all, Bob, big supporter of the Scoop School community. He's on just about every week. Again, if you're joining us late, we live stream in our Scoop School community every Friday. It's a subscription program, $49 a month. All of the live stream sessions you can view if you're joining recently. But there's a great Q&A here at the end. You can talk about what the recipe we made or the process that we showed, and then you can ask anything you'd like. Bob's number one in our books. Bob, you're doing a great job in wholesaling in winter months. I think that's a way to drive revenue during winter months. As things slow down, you can look at, do you have any ice cream shops, any bakeries, any cafes? Are you making or reaching out to companies like wineries or breweries, particularly if you've got a batch freezer and you're making your own product, that you can make a product specifically for them? The winter time is the time to actually reach out and cultivate those wholesale accounts, those specialty accounts, because you know that people are still going out and dining in restaurants, but they are, so that you might be able to provide a specific ice cream or frozen dessert for them. So I definitely would do it. Mate, I would certainly have some winter or fall flavors that are only specific. Question. Okay, so Bob said, are there any flavors to avoid, any that you should have during the winter months? Let me tell you the flavors you should have. Any of those flavors that conjure up this feeling of warmth and fall and the season, which is typically, look, I'm not a big fan of pumpkin. I actually forgot to tell you something. I'm glad you asked that question, Bob. I'm not a big fan of pumpkin, but pumpkin flavors, pumpkin pie flavors, spicy pumpkin. The last live stream we did was actually a spiced pumpkin pie ice cream. It's actually pretty awesome. So pumpkin, anything with apple cinnamon, anything with a pink or peppermint chip, peppermint Oreo, that kind of thing, sell very, very well during this time. You know, some of the water-based flavors like water ices and sorbets, they don't sell overly well during the winter time. You might have something that's very specific, like a cranberry sorbet. If it's specific to the season, absolutely. But mango sorbets and different things, you can offer them, but they don't sell relatively well. Warm apple pie, pecan pie flavored ice creams, and the mints do very, very well. One thing that I didn't mention when we were going to talk a little bit about sundaes, and they were sitting right in front of me, so I don't know why I mentioned it. I walk past these every single day in Walmart. These are 50 cents each. This is a chocolate cake. This is a cinnamon cake. This is a banana cake. I've warmed all of these up and put a scoop of ice cream on the top with a caramel on the top. Outstanding. This is a warmed lemon cake, 50 cents. And this is a pecan pie. I was going to do that because I thought you were on that camera, but it's not. It's over here. Let me take the pecan pie out. They also have a apple pie and a cherry pie, and they come in these tiny little bite-sized pieces. Now, yeah, you might be able to source cheaper and talk to your broadline distributor, but if you warmed up this pecan pie, put a scoop of ice cream on it, and drizzled it with caramel, and you're selling a warm, you can't call it fresh, obviously, or not home-baked, but warm pecan pie sundae. Visually, it's outstanding. It tastes pretty good. Again, pumpkin pie and pecan pie, I don't really get, but I didn't grow up with them. And look, we just put in our naturalization papers, so we will be American citizens soon. Woo, woo! I can hear you all applauding. Yeah, yeah. Maybe I'll have to start getting into the whole pecan pie and the pumpkin pie thing. That's going to be, I hope in the naturalization interview they don't say, do you like pumpkin pie? What am I going to say? So anyway, there's a lot of rubbish thrown into that answer, Bob, unfortunately, but great for wholesaling. Use this time to grow your wholesale market and yeah, do those kind of more fall flavors. Definitely take a cue from what's happening in the grocery store aisle. A lot of times you'll get your Ben & Jerry's, your Unilever products, Talenti and all those guys are rolling out similar type of flavors. I'm not saying to copy them, but you can certainly do your spin on them, which would work very well. I just wanted to say one other thing about this. Even if you bought this pecan pie at 50 cents, I've got a 3-ounce scoop of ice cream. If it's vanilla, I might have 15 to 20 cents in there, a little bit of topping. You're still looking at a 70-cent item that you're going to sell probably between $5 and $6. So even if you're buying these at the grocery store, it's still a very, very low food cost, which will drive people to come in as well. Any other questions? Okay, last couple of websites, scoopschool.com. Have a look at the site, brand new site, looks great. Click on the community tab, have a look at what we're doing here every Friday. If you'd like to join, we'd love to have you. No specific period of time. You can stay month after month after month. You can say, you know what, 1 month, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm out, that's fine. ConeCon2020.com. Have a look at that. We'd love to see you in the National Ice Cream Retailers Annual Convention, which is virtual this year, November 10, 11, and 12. Thanks for joining us. As we always say at the end of the videos, keep on scooping, and hopefully we'll see you next week.